What's up, YouTube? Big Dog Brett. I wanted to give you guys a little bit to think about here in the off season. Yeah, I know that I'm driving around and making a video, and that's great. And, if I was constantly looking at the camera, I'd say that's a problem, but I'm focused on the road, so if I get some of the facts out of line or something, you guys forgive me because I'm paying more attention to the road than I am the video. So, there's been a lot of talk about Justin Fields and Jake Fromm. Who's going to have the starting job? And I think it's almost a ridiculous question. From a coaching standpoint, you have an unknown who looks to be phenomenal, but you also have a tried and true quarterback, by the way, who is the number one passing quarterback in the SEC. Who did everything pretty much above and beyond what anybody could have expected him to do. He's never lost a game except the national championship game as a freshman. Wow. Now, don't let that take away from my opinion of Justin Fields. Justin Fields is an amazing quarterback in high school. When he went to some of the training camp stuff, they said he was the alpha dog of the alpha dogs. That's great. I really like that about him because it is going to push Jake Fromm to continue to get better. Now, Jake Fromm is no stranger to competition. He had to come in to take the job away from Jacob Eason, which he did. Jacob Eason got injured in that game against Appalachian State, but there was absolutely no looking back once they handed Jake Fromm the ball. Now, did he single-handedly carry Georgia to a national championship game? No, not single-handedly, but very, very few freshman quarterbacks would have been able to pull off what he did. Now, that having been said, you got Sony Michel and Nick Chubb, obviously contributed. But you've got to admit, you've got a quarterback who's tried and true under pressure, a true freshman who is absolutely, hands down, one of the best true freshman quarterbacks we've ever had at University of Georgia. They're not going to just bench that guy. Now, yeah, they're going to go through the whole spring practice thing, and you're probably going to hear Kirby Smart say what he always says about how they look at who's the best during the week, and whoever's the best that week is who's going to play. I would like to offer a different suggestion. I would like to offer the idea that I think it might be beneficial to Georgia if we play Justin Fields and Jake Fromm like we do pitchers. You have left-handed pitchers and you have right-handed pitchers. And depending on the situation, you may use your left-handed pitcher or your right-handed pitcher. For instance, if we play a team that's really terrible against the run, might be a good opportunity to play Justin Fields. If we have a team that's really good against the pass, then it might be better to play Jake Fromm. I mean, the guy can pass. and I don't want to hear all this stuff about how Jake Fromm doesn't have a big arm. That guy can throw that ball far enough where it doesn't matter. If that receiver's open and that receiver's out there, he's going to get the ball to him. He's more than proved that many, many times. So, and what's better than that is he doesn't have to. This guy can put the ball in places that only our guys can catch it. We've seen that many, many times. Has he made true freshman mistakes? Sure, but not as near as many as most true freshmen make. So the amount of level and poise that he had as a true freshman quarterback, you can't take that away from that guy. Now, let's say Justin Fields comes in and he absolutely takes the job away from Jake Fromm. As a Georgia fan, I'd have to say that's outstanding. That's exactly what you want to happen. I mean, you look at how good Justin Fields would have to be to take that job away from Jake Fromm. There's no doubt. If he's able to come in and take the job away from Jake Fromm, he's that good. He's a Heisman Trophy candidate right out of the gate then. You might as well say that. And there's a lot of people that question why Jake Fromm wasn't in the Heisman Trophy candidate system, Heisman Trophy candidate running last year. And certainly a lot of people question why Nick Chubb or Sony Michel wasn't as well. Outstanding performance all around. But to say who's gonna be the starting quarterback, it's going to be Jake Fromm. There's no doubt. Please don't misunderstand and say that I don't like Justin Fields. I'm very hyped up about Justin Fields. I have talked about how much I liked getting that guy, how good he looks when he played in the championship games. I mean, the guy is amazing, but that's high school, and we all cringed. Say what you want to say. We all cringed when Jacob Eason went down, and we had to put in a true freshman Jake Fromm and be like, "Here you go. Ball's in your court." And then to see him come out and do as well as he did, I don't know how you could take the job away from him. He'd either have to get injured or play terrible for like 3 games in a row. And I just don't see that happening. Doesn't cave under pressure. The stage never got too big for him. And those are things that you can't coach, you can't train, you can't draw it up on a scorecard and be like, here's how you do this. Here's how you keep the stage from getting too big. It doesn't work that way. Jake Fromm literally handled it better than any true freshman quarterback I've ever seen. Now, I also want to talk about the DeAndre Swift, Herron, Holyfield, Zamir White, and Cook. James Cook. Who's the starter? DeAndre Swift, of course. Well, who's going to be the backup? Now, that's a great question. That is an excellent question. It's clear that Kirby Smart and his team, his coaching staff, want to run tandem and multiple backs throughout the game to keep everybody fresh. It works extremely well. We already know Michelle was one of the best we'll ever see as a so-called backup, even though there was games where he outperformed Nick Chubb. You have to look at the fact that DeAndre Swift's numbers were on par on a scale of how Sony Michel's numbers were. He had half the carries and about the same amount of yards as far as a ratio. So that's really promising to see. Now, why didn't he have better numbers throughout the year? Well, who are you going to take the ball away from? You're going to take the ball away from Nick Chubb? Are you going to take the ball away from Sony Michel? No, you're not. That's why DeAndre Swift didn't have more carries than he had. And that's one of the things that really makes me think that Jake Fromm is going to continue to have the job. Because even though Justin Fields may be a great quarterback, just like DeAndre Swift was a great running back, how can you take the ball away from him whenever you've got tried and true performance? That's one of the things that makes me go, you know what? The program's really headed in the right direction. You've got a lot of talent at key positions that we need them. It keeps them competitive. It keeps them working hard. The game plan is in the right place to get the jobs done that we need to get done. Keeping those backs fresh is going to be important. Now, you probably will see quite the competition between, I'm not going to say Swift because Swift's got the job, but Herron, Holyfield, Zamir White, and Cook. I don't look for so much from Zamir White because he did tear his knee up, and UGA staff, medical staff's been working with him ever since it happened, get him healthy, get him back in the gym. We all know what happened whenever Nick Chubb blew his knee out. It took him, he had a year he was out, and then he had a year where he came back and he was good, but he wasn't the old Nick Chubb. And then he had last year where he just, he looked like the old Nick Chubb again. And I'm really hoping that's not the case with Zamir White. I'm hoping that he gets right back in there. Obviously, Zamir White's injury was nowhere near the amount of damage that Nick Chubb suffered, but it is a pretty substantial injury, so it is going to take some time to heal. And I'm hoping that the 6 or 8 months that he's had or is going to have will get him back to where he needs to be. I look for Jake Fromm to lead the team. You're going to see Justin Fields come in late third quarter, all the fourth quarters of games to keep him going, to get him in the game. And you're going to see once Georgia gets up on points, you're going to see him go in and really start to throw the ball around and do what he needs to do. As far as the running back, I think they're just going to cycle through those guys, but I think the majority of your carries, really honestly, you're going to see Swift in there first. You're going to see Herron and Holyfield sprinkled in there, but don't be surprised if you see a whole lot of James Cook. James Cook is an outstanding running back. We'll see what happens. But I'm looking forward to what's going to happen at the wide receiver position. We've got a tight end that's like 6'5" or 6'6" or something ridiculous. These give Jake Fromm targets that he didn't have before. Yeah, Javon Wims, check, got it, signed the box, moving on. Javon Wims, awesome, that's nice. But when you have multiple targets that have a lot of height, a lot of stature, it really opens the field up, especially when they're fast. So if you only got one tall receiver, that's who everybody's going to cover. You only got, you got one fast receiver, that's who they're really going to cover. But when you've got speed on one side, you've got two tall receivers over here, I mean, it makes it really difficult to cover those guys. And then you got a tight end who can just step out there and, line up and catch the ball, 5, 6, 7 yards deep. So I'm looking forward to see how they're going to expand the passing game. I think that's going to lead to an opportunity for Zamir White and James Cook and DeAndre Swift, Holyfield, and Herron to really look good. Now, somebody else brought up the point that Nick Chubb and Sony Michel looked really well because, they were outstanding. They were outstanding backs. They were. But I would submit to you that this coming up next couple of years is going to be some of the best offensive lines Georgia's had in many, many years. That's also going to lend to the ability for these running backs to bust loose and get out there. So I think that if DeAndre Swift has the same amount of talent, or near the same amount of talent, or maybe even more, as Sony Michel, and the offensive line is better, and the passing game will help, got a better passing game, help open up the running game, man, it's going to be hard to stop. And I do want to, real quick, I want to touch base that, yeah, Georgia lost a lot of guys on defense. Georgia lost a lot of guys on offense. Does that mean that we're down and out? Absolutely not. We've got some key players that stayed, that were freshmen, that were sophomores. We got some juniors that stayed. And what you guys really need to be looking for is that Kirby Smart is living his motto of, we don't rebuild, we just reload. So you're going to continue to see that he's going to find the players, stack them deep, get them in the game, get them trained up, and then change them out and just keep moving forward. I mean, Alabama seems to be able to do it, and there's no reason why Georgia can't either. Georgia took him down to the wire with a true freshman quarterback and, an offensive line that was not what we really wanted to see. Roquan, and by the way, Roquan Smith, we lost one of the greatest guys in Georgia that we've ever had on defense, but I look forward to seeing the new players that we're going to get in there and make these new adjustments and give these guys some playing time as well. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'll do another video here pretty soon. I'll follow up maybe on some other positions. Might do another video on Tommy Bush. Really excited about that guy. If you guys have any questions, jump down, leave them in the comments section. Be glad to answer those for you. If you guys have any ideas, stuff you want to hear me talk about, feel free to throw that down there. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, share with your friends, tell your neighbors, make your dog watch it, whatever you want to do. I appreciate it. Thanks. So, talk to you guys soon, and go Dogs.